Hello, my dear student. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, let us see some important problems in calorimetry. I hope you all have enjoyed my previous videos on expansion of liquid solids. So, let us discuss some important models which are very useful for preparing for your JEE Mains exam or for NEET exam. Let me explain some of the important models in calorimetry. Before I start my video, please subscribe my channel, and if you really like my content, please share with your friends. Thank you. Let me explain one by one. Let us see the first problem. What is the problem says? 2 grams of fuel is completely burnt in excess of oxygen. The temperature of a calorimeter of thermal capacity 100 calorie per degree centigrade containing 2000 grams of water rises by 3 degree. Find calorific value. See, in physics, problems can be solved very easily if we can picture the problem. That means if you can draw a diagram, that will help you a lot. So let us take a beaker. In this beaker, we have water. And how much is the mass of water? 2900 grams. And for the calorimeter, that MC, heat capacity or thermal capacity means MC, is given as 100 calorie per degree centigrade. Now this is placed on a fuel which is burnt. So the fuel is giving energy to it. Let us find out how much energy this fuel is supplying to the mixture of, to the water and the calorimeter so that the temperature rises 3. So delta T is given as 3 degrees centigrade. So let us calculate the total heat absorbed. Total heat absorbed. Q is equal to MC delta T for water plus MC delta T for calorimeter. Here mass of water is given as 2900. Since mass is in grams, specific also should be in calorie per gram. So water specific 1 calorie per gram per degree centigrade into change of temperature given as 3 degrees centigrade plus for calorimeter the value of MC given as 100 into again the range of temperature 3 degrees centigrade. So if you simplify this, you get 3000 into 3, so 9000 calories. That means the fuel has supplied total of 9000 calories. So what is meant by calorific value? Calorific value of any substance is amount of energy that can be produced per unit mass. Energy produced per unit mass is nothing but the calorific value. So how much is the energy produced here? 9000 by how much is the mass? I said 2 grams. Look at the mass of this 2 grams. Fuel is 2 grams. So let's substitute there upon 2. So this is nothing but 4500 calorie per gram. So that means for every 1 gram of this fuel, we can supply 4000 calories of energy. So the answer is option number D. It is supplying 4500 calories per gram. That is the calorific value of that particular fuel. Now let's move on to the problem number 2. The density of a liquid A is 0.5 grams. So again I said always draw the diagrams. There is a liquid A and there is a liquid B. Here the density of this one is given as 0.5 gram per cc. and whereas the density of for B given as 0.6 gram per cc. It is found that 8 liters of A thermal capacity. So V1 is equal to 8 liters and V2 is equal to 10 liters. Given the thermal capacity of 8 liters of A is equal to 10 liters of B. So first of all, what is thermal capacity? We all know thermal capacity or heat capacity is same, nothing but mc. But H is equal to mass is volume into density into C. So thermal capacity of both of them are given as equal. So V1 rho 1 C1 is equal to V2 rho 2 C2. What is V1? 8. Rho 1 is 0.5 into C1 we don't know. V2 again 10. Rho 2 0.6 into C2. So this becomes 8, 0.5 are 4. 4C1 is equal to 6C2. That implies C1 upon C2 is 3:2. So let me check the answer. Yes, option number D is the correct option. So here the ratio of thermal capacity is 3:2. Now let's move on to problem number 3. Here this is another important model. Two liquids A and B are temperatures T1, T2. Again, take liquid A and liquid B. The temperature of liquid A is given as 75 degrees centigrade and that of B is given as 15 degrees centigrade. Their masses are in the ratio M1 by M2 is given as 2 by 3. Their specific heats are given C1 upon C2 is 3 by 4. Now, the resultant temperature of the mixture if the liquids A and B are mixed. Suppose if I mix them, let me take T as the resultant temperature. So this resultant temperature should be less than T1, more than T2. So that means I can say that A will lose heat, B will gain heat. So let's equate heat lost by A is equal to heat gained by B. So we all know heat loss or heat gain is equal to about mc delta T. So M1 C1 delta T is 75 minus T. Why? Because it will be less than 75 is equal to M2 C2 into and T will be more than 50. So from that M1 is 2, C1 is 3 into 75 minus T is equal to M2 is 3, C2 is equal to 4 into T minus 50. So this 3 cancel. So 150 minus 2T is equal to 40 minus 60. So 210 is equal to 60. So ultimately T is equal to 210 by 6. So this we can cancel 3 2s. 370 is nothing but 35 degrees. So the resultant temperature is 35 degree centigrade. This should be your answer. So let me check the answer. Yes, 35 degrees centigrade is the first option. So very simple problem. So we equated heat lost by A is equal to heat gain by B. Why? Because A is at higher temperature, B is at low temperature. So when we mix them, A will lose heat. Let's move on to problem number 4. Three different substances have the masses in the ratio. So given that M1 is to M2 is to M3 is 1 is to 2 is to 3. Specific heats are given C1 is to C2 is to C3 is nothing but 2 is to 3 is to 1. And their temperatures increase in the ratio. So delta T1 is to delta T2 is to delta T3 is 3 is to 1 is to 2. Then what you're supposed to find? Find the ratio of thermal energies absorbed. Is asking energy absorbed. So energy absorbed is M1 C1, I mean MC delta T. So MC delta T. So Q1 is to Q2 is to Q3 is equal to so this is MC delta T. So if you take the first one, mass is 1, specific is 2, temperature 3. So 1 into 2 into 3. So nothing but 6 is 2. For the second one, mass is 2, specific is 3 and 1. So 2 into 3 into 1, again 6. Change of temperature for first one, this is 3. And here, third one, sorry, again M1, M3, mass is 3, specific is again 1 and 2. Again, this also becomes 1. So nothing but 1 is to 1 is to 1. So the ratio of energies absorbed by them will be equal. So 1 is to 1 is to 1. So I'm just taking the product. For the first one, the product of M1 C1 delta T1. M1 C1 delta T1. Second one, M2 C2 delta T2. Third one, M3 C3 delta. So 1 is to 1 is to 1. So let me check the options. Yes. The answer is again the first option. Now let's move on to problem number 5. Here you have to read the problem carefully. Find the heat required in joules to convert 1 kg of ice at minus 10 degrees and 22 steam at 100. See, in calorimetry, calculations will be simple if you take mass in grams. Okay, so first let us take the change of state. So ice at minus 20 degrees centigrade on heating becomes ice at 0 degrees centigrade. On further heating, this become water at 0. On heating, water at 100. On heating, it become steam at 100 degrees centigrade. So here, the total heat absorbed is, here there is a change of state, change of temperature. So mass into specific heat of ice into change of temperature plus here change of state. So M into latent heat of ice, change of temperature M into specific heat of water delta T plus M into change of state, again latent heat of steam. So since the mass is given as 1 kg, I'll convert into grams so that I can take specific heats latent heat in calorie per gram. So I can, everywhere M is constant, so I can take 1000 common because everywhere mass is constant. So specific heat of ice in calorie per gram 0.5. Change of temperature, final minus of minus plus of 20 plus latent of ice 80 calorie per gram, specific heat of water 1, change of temperature 100 minus 0 100 plus latent of steam 5. So which is nothing but 1000 into 0.5 into 20 is 10. 90, 190, I think it will be 630. This will be 630. 0.5, okay. And here, let me check. No. It's not 630 because, yeah. So 10 plus 90, 190 and 530. So 730. Here 1000 into 10 plus 90, 190 plus 540. 730 this is. This is 730. Now we got this in calories, but is asking the answer in joules. So we know 1 calorie is 4.2 joules. So multiply that with, so 73 into 10 power 4 into 4.2 joules. So let us multiply 73 with 4.2. So we'll get 306, the value is. So 306.6 into 10 power 4 joules. Or this is 3.06 10 power 6 joules, because it is expressed in terms of powers of 6. So the answer is, yeah, 3.07 10 power 6. So this is, if you what contrast, adjust into the nearest number, it becomes 307. So we can write 07. So always I suggest solve the problems in calories and finally you convert into joules. That will be more easy, because if you take in kilograms, the calculation part become lengthy. So convert into grams and finally convert the answer into joules. That will be very easy. Now let us see the next problem. So now in this problem, what is said? 1 grams of ice at 0 mixed with 1 gram of steam at 100. After thermal equilibrium, the temperature the mixture is. This is a very standard question. Whenever equal mass of ice and equal mass of steam are mixed, remember all ice will melt, but all steam will not melt. Steam is at 100 degrees centigrade. So this is ice and this is steam. This is 0 degrees centigrade, 100 degrees centigrade. All ice will melt, all steam will not. That means the mixture contains water as well as some steam. So ice will become into water, but there is steam. So whenever there is ice and water and steam, the resultant temperature is always 100 degrees centigrade. So without solving, you can write the answer. So when equal mass of ice and steam are mixed, all ice will melt, but all steam will not melt, condense. So there will be some steam and water. So resultant temperature is always 100 degrees centigrade. Now let's move on to the problem number 7. 3 liquids A, B, C are given. A mixture of 4 grams of A at 60, 1 gram of C at 50 show a resultant temperature of 55. A mixture of 1 gram of A at 60, 1 gram of B at 50 show a resultant temperature 55. What will be the resultant temperature of mixture and 60 and C? So again, let us take, it's a lengthy problem. So we don't know the specific heats. Let me take C1, C2 and C3. In general, what is the resultant temperature formula? M1C1T1 plus M2C2T2 whole upon M1C1 plus M2C2. So I'm going to apply this formula 3 times. First time, what are mixed? A and B are mixed. So sorry, A and C. A and 1 gram of C are mixed. So let me take the first one, A plus C. So resultant temperature is given as 55. How many grams of A? 4 grams of A at 60. So 4 C1 into 60 mixed with 1 gram of 1 into C3 into 50 whole upon again 4 C1 plus C3. So now we want to simplify that. So 5 11s, 5 12s, 5 10 times. Now we cross multiply. So 44 C1 plus 11 C2 is equal to 48 C1 plus 10 C3. So this is C3. So from this it's very clear. C3 is equal to 4 C1. Let us take this relation. Now what are mixed now? A mixture of 1 gram of A at 60, 1 gram of at B at 50 now. Again the resultant temperature is same. So let's now take A plus B as the mixture. So what is the resultant temperature again? 55. So 1 gram of A at 60 mixed with 1 gram of B at 50 whole upon same C1 upon C2, because mass is 1 gram anyway cancel. So again this will go by 11 times, 12 times, 10 times. So 11 C1 plus 11 C2 is 12 C1 plus 10 C2. Clearly C2 is equal to C1. I got another relation. Now water mixed. Finally, 1 gram of B at 60 mixed with 1 gram of C at 50. Now is asking resultant temperature. So let us calculate the finally B plus C are mixed. So when B plus C are mixed, we need to find out the resultant temperature. So 1 gram of B, so C2 at 60, 1 gram of C, C3 at 50 whole upon C2 plus C3. So we know C2 is equal to C1, simply write. So 60 C1 and C3 we got 4 C1 into 50 upon C1 plus 4 C1, which is nothing but 4 5, so 260 upon 5, nothing but 52 degrees centigrade. So when B and C are mixed, the resultant temperature is 52. So this problem is lengthy. Why? Because we have to use the same formula 3 times. So the answer is option number A, 52 degrees centigrade. So you need to be careful while simplifying and you can easily get the answer. Let me solve problem number 8. Here what is given? 8 grams of, when the steam at 100 degrees centigrade is passed under a big block of ice at 0 degrees centigrade. So you need to understand the question. There is a block of ice onto which steam is passed. We don't know how many grams of steam is passed. Let's take M. And the temperature is 100 degrees centigrade. And the block of ice is at 0. And remember here said that 80 grams of ice has melted. Even though it's a very big block of ice, only 80 grams of ice has melted. So that means in this problem, we should understand that all the steam will condense into water, but all ice will not melt. That means there is a water as well as ice. So first thing is water and ice exist at 0. So first thing is resultant temperature is equal to 0 degrees centigrade. Now let us take initially steam at 100 degrees centigrade becomes water at 100 degrees centigrade. And this water at 100 become water at 0 because the resultant is 0. So here heat lost by steam, I'll calculate ml plus mc delta T. So m into 540 plus m into specific heat of water 1 and the change of temperature 100. So nothing but 640 m. This is the heat lost by steam. And who is absorbing that heat? Ice. So let us calculate. Here only ice is melting. So heat gained by ice is simply m into L. How many grams of ice is melting given? I think it is 80 grams. So 80. So let's substitute. 80 grams of ice melted. Latent of weight is 80. So 6,400. From method of mixes, we all know that Q lost is equal to Q gained. So let's equate 640 M is equal to 6,400. M is equal to 10 grams. So how many grams of steam we have taken? That's what asking. Find the mass of steam condensed. So because all the steam is condensed, so the answer is Option number C. So 10 grams of steam has condensed. Now let's move on to problem number 9. A liquid of specific heat 0.5 calorie per gram per degree centigrade at 60 mixed with another liquid of specific heat 0.3 at 20. Again, let us take liquid A at specific heat for this one is given as 0.5 calorie gram inverse centigrade inverse, and the temperature of this is given as 60. And there is another liquid B, and whose specific heat is given as 0.3 calorie gram inverse centigrade inverse, and whose temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now it is given that when you mix them, the resultant temperature is 30. So T is equal to 30 degrees centigrade. Then in what proportion by masses they are mixed? That means M1 M2 ratio is asking. And it is very clear that A is at higher temperature, B is at lower temperature. Simply equate heat lost by A is equal to heat gained by B. So M1 C1, change of temperature is 60 minus 30 is equal to M2 C2. Change of temperature is 30 minus 20 because resultant will be more than that. So this is M1 into what is C1 given? For A it is 0.5 times 30 is equal to M2, we don't know. C2 is 0.3 times 10. So it is clear M1 into 15 is equal to M2 into 3. So M1 upon M2 is 1 upon 5. So the answer is 1:5. Simple problem. Heat lost is equal to heat gain. So the answer is 1:5. Now let's move on to problem number 10. Boiling water at 100 degrees centigrade added and cold water at 3 degrees centigrade mixed in the ratio 1:3 to give a mixture of 37 degrees centigrade. Then same logic. So let us equate heat lost by hot water is equal to heat gained by cold water. Okay, so here M1 C1 resultant temperature is given as 37. So for this one 100 minus 37 M2 C2 into resultant will be more than this one, so 37 minus. So resultant temperature will be less than the hot water, more than the cold water. And since both are waters only, specific heat cancel. So M1 into 63 is equal to, no, masses are given, sorry. The mass are 1:3. So 1 into 63 is equal to 3 into 37 minus T. So this will go by 21 times. So 37 minus T. So T should be equal to 16 degrees centigrade. The option number D is the answer. The answer is option number D. So 16 degrees centigrade is the right answer. So again, here all the problems in calorimetry can be solved by heat equating. Heat loss is equal to heat gain. Now let's move on to problem number 11. If there is no loss of heat, the heat released by condensation of X grams of steam at 100 into water can be used to convert Y grams of ice at 0 into water at 100. So heat lost by steam is equal to heat gained by water and ice. So X grams of steam at 100 to water only. So only ml. So that means ml of steam is equal to, first ice at 0 become water at 0, then 100. So we can write ml of ice plus mc delta T of water. So why? Because first ice will melt and again the temperature of that water raises to 100. So here how many grams of ice given? X grams. So latent F is 540 is equal to y grams into 80 plus specific of water 1, change of temperature again 100. So nothing but X into 540 is equal to 180y. This will go by 3 times. So y upon x is equal to, because asking y is to x, so the answer is 3:1. So here steam just becomes water, but ice on heating it melts then become water. So that's why we have to use both the steps there. Now let's move on to problem number 12. A vessel of water equivalent 120 grams. So water equivalent means mc. So the value of mc is given as 120. So let us draw a diagram. There is a vessel whose water equivalent is given as 120 grams. It contains how many grams of water? 800 grams of water, and whose initial temperature is 20. Now to this we are adding 300 grams of ice. See, there is 300 grams of ice at 0 degree centigrade is added. How many grams of ice will remain without melting? That means when the ice is remaining, means the resultant temperature is 0. So here what happens is heat lost by water and this calorimeter is equal to heat gained by ice. So let us equate ml of ice should be equal to mc delta T of water plus mc delta T of calorimeter. So here ice will gain heat, it will absorb heat, because of that a part is melted. So we don't know how many grams of ice melted, let us take m, but latent heat is 80, which is equal to how many grams of water taken initially? 800. In specific heat is 1. Change of temperature. Initially the temperature of water is 20, now it becomes 0. Because there is ice, resultant temperature is 20. Again plus MC value of calorimeter given as 120. Into same way for the water, but the calorimeter also, the initial temperature 20, and because of ice the temperature drops to 0. So again here 20. So m into 80 is equal to, this is 16,000, 2,400. M is equal to 18,400 upon 80. This will be 230 grams. What I have calculated? I calculated amount of ice melted, but is asking how amount of without melting. So mass left, mass of ice left, mass of ice left is equal to 300 minus 230, nothing but 70 grams. So in this mixture there is 70 grams of ice will be left. So the answer here it is 70. The answer is 70 here. Now let's move on to problem number 30. A copper ball of specific heat 0.1 weighing 400 grams transferred to 1000 grams of water from a furnace to at 20. Temperature of water raises to 80. The original temperature of the ball is. So here heat lost by ball is equal to heat gained by water. So in all these problems, this is what we need to identify. Who is gaining heat and who is losing heat? That's the main important step. So simply MC delta T of copper is equal to MC delta T of water. So what is the mass of copper? Given 400. Specific it is given as 0.1. Actually the units have to mention it is nothing but calorie per gram per degree centigrade. So directly take 0.1. And initially we don't know what is the temperature, but finally the temperature becomes 80. So that is nothing but T minus 80, because it will be at higher temperature, is equal to 1000 grams of water is there. Specific heat of 1. Initial 20, now final 80, the resultant will be 60. The rise in temperature 60. So this become 400 into T minus 80 is equal to 1000 into 60. So this I can write T minus 80 is equal to 1000 into 60 upon 400 will be gone, and this is 600 by 4, nothing but 150. Is it 150 or 1500? Wait a minute. 1000 into 60. So there is 40, because there is 0.1 is gone. I'm sorry, it is 40. So here it is only 40. So therefore it will be 6000 by 4. So 1500. Therefore T is equal to 1580 degrees centigrade. Let me check the option. Yes, the option number B is the right answer. So here heat lost by solid is equal to heat gained by water. Again, the principle of calorimeter. Now let's take problem number 14. It takes 15 minutes for an electrical kettle to heat certain quantity of water from 0 to 100 degrees centigrade and 80 minutes to completely vaporize. Find the latent heat of steam. So here we need to take power is constant, power is energy by time. So I'll equate Q1 by T1 is equal to Q2 by T2. So Q1 is MC delta T by T1, because there is change of temperature, is equal to change of state upon time. Here the same as M cancel. Now specific heat of ice is 1, water is 1. Change of temperature is initially how much? What is the change in temperature? 0 to 100. So 100. Time how much? 15. Latent heat we don't know, but the time is given as 80. So here we need to find out L is equal to 8000 by 15. So 5 3s 5 4000, sir. Is it 8000? 5 sorry, 5 1600, sorry. So this is 8000 by 15. 5 3s 5 1600s. Nothing but 533.33. So the answer is 533.33 degrees centigrade. So option number, sorry, calorie per gram, because it's latent heat, right? So 533.33 calorie per gram. So here what you have to do, rate of energy supplied is constant. So whatever the energy required here is the same. Now let's move on to the last problem, 15th problem. A steam at 100 degrees centigrade passed into 20 grams of water. So again, let's take a beaker. In this, I have 20 grams of water at 10 degrees centigrade. Now to this, steam is passed. When water acquires the resultant temperature raised to 80, the mass of water present will be. Okay. Now, we don't know how much steam is condensed. That's not given. but the temperature of the resultant is given as 80. So we write like this. Let us take m grams of steam is condensing. So here heat lost by steam is equal to heat gained by water. So we can say that first steam at 100 degrees centigrade become water at 100, and this water becomes, the resultant temperature is 80, so there is water, and this water become water at 80. So Q lost is equal to ml plus mc delta. We don't know mass of steam. Latent it is 540. M into specific it is 1. Change of temperature is 20. So this will be 560 m. Okay. Now this is taken by how many grams of ice is there? Water. 20 grams of water is there. So let us take heat gained by water. So heat gained is equal to mc delta T. Mass of water is 20, specific is 1, and the change of temperature is, I think, 80 minus 20. 80 minus 20, because it is, sorry 70. 80 minus 7, 10, right? Because initially it's 10. So nothing but this is 1400. We all know heat loss called heat gain. Let us equate 560 m is equal to 1400. M is equal to 1400 by 560. Nothing but 140 by 56. So 7 20s, 7 8s. So nothing but 2.5 grams. So we understand that how many grams of steam has condensed? 2.5 grams. Already how many grams of water is there? 20. So what is the total mass of water? 20 plus 2.5 grams. So total the mass of water present is 22.5 grams. A very, very important problem. So we have calculated the mass of steam condensed into water, that is 2.5 grams. Already 8 grams, 10 grams of 20 grams of water already there. Another 2.5 gram will be added from water, the steam. The total mass present in the mixture is 22.5 grams. So these are some of the important models from calorimetry in this video. Now we'll discuss some more problems, some more important models of the calorimetry in my next video. So please watch these videos again and again until you get confidence, and these problems will definitely strengthen all your basic formulas, and again solve the problems at different models, and definitely it will increase your confidence and you can face the exam confidently. So I wish you happy physics learning. Thanks for watching.